Coming to you from the studio with my Take Me to Cuba, Take Me to Cuba hat. Take Me to Cuba hat. Okay. This is, I suppose, a kind of reality check commentary. Reality check commentary from the studio. Spontaneous and random insights with a few notes. I made a few notes. And considering the circumstances we're in as a species, as people living in some kind of a reality that has reality check 101. What is reality? I think there is a natural inclination for me. I feel naturally inclined to use my intuition, my wisdom, my knowledge, my experiences to identify what is reality, what is real. Take me to Cuba. And what's interesting is the idea that the truism reality, meaning that the facts, ma'am, nothing but the facts, people are all out there giving me the facts. And these are basic truism, stuff we all know, but really adds nothing new for us to chew on. I'm going to synopsize again what I consider to be of primary importance, and that is not to deny the value of the facts, the things that are out there that are creating what appears to be a reality we're involved in. And why don't facts seem to matter? This is something that really intrigues me. It really gets me going. It's like I'm curious. Why is it that if you're told something by someone that makes a lot of sense, like Fukushima, a disaster, a catastrophe of epic proportions that occurred over 7 years ago, a fact, this is what happened, and it seems to make no difference whatsoever, especially from the point of view that I am aware of how absolutely dangerous this event was. There are truisms created every day around this event. What I say, we all know. We all know. We all know what's happening. Reality check 101, take me to Cuba. And I was listening to a fellow I really like, Liam Sheff. He's unfortunately passed away. He made a lot of sense. He presented truisms. He made a lot of sense. And people like Liam Sheff were peripheralized or not paid attention to the extent that we should have paid attention, or other people that I listen to that I find to be extraordinary in their ability to withstand the criticism, even to withstand the absolute vicious attacks against them personally. Some even are removed from this reality by killing them, by murdering them, people that expose something within this existence that is a danger to the owners. I still believe, I still think that there are owners that are behind the curtain. It is developing in my own mind the nature of our reality, what is real, what is false. I do think that there are owners that are behind the curtain. But what really matters? Ultimately, what does it come down to? This is my curiosity. What is it that means something to me, very personally, that actually extends my threshold, that threshold of being confined in a cage, in a mental cage? I'm not talking about a physical cage, although I could easily think about the physical cage that we are trapped in, the reality we surround ourselves with cars and technology and all the high-mindedness of our evolution as human beings. This is a cage that we exist in. Reality check 101. But what is a more important aspect to this for me is to understand what it is that keeps me confined in even a worldview that is so myopic and small, which appears to be the operating system, a very myopic, small small-minded worldview that eradicates people like Liam Sheff or Kevin Annett, people that speak out for the value that really makes this existence worthwhile. Protect children at any cost. Protect the children, because the children are the future. So I see people that are out there like Deborah Mahmoudi, herself a victim of abuse, who speak out on behalf because of firsthand knowledge. They understand what it means to have your psyche, your spirit devastated, and to be able to come and survive and even thrive on some level within this cage that we're in, this spirit that we want to extend, that we want to increase. We want to escape the event horizon of our own undoing. These are people I appreciate. And what is it? Why is it that facts don't seem to matter? And these people I've mentioned, they are incredible souls that contribute to my well-being through their own struggle to increase their event horizon, which is why I love art, and I really appreciate artists who push this ability to escape our cage, this cage that we're trapped in, the spiritual, physical cage of our understanding, worldviews that are myopic, that keep us in a very dysfunctional, destructive mode. So what is it that pulls me forward into some other state of, what is that? My ability to tolerate something that doesn't compute within my mind. How is it that I can push myself to incorporate something that essentially allows me to have an inner revolution, that Cuban revolution, but an inner revolution represented in something that my own worldview has changed. And I think my questions are just as valuable, not as even more valuable than any answers. So people that continuously provide us with answers are really of no value, because it's something very personal. We all come to it in our own way. So I can tell you all the facts, and it won't make any difference, because we each have levels of tolerance that we will not exceed in terms of our worldview. I actually, in my last show that I just finished, I had conversations with different people, and I found it quite extraordinary how limited some of the tolerance levels are in terms of proposing something that is actually quite, from my perspective, quite benign, but it becomes an issue of incredible anxiety. That if you propose that we can live our lives not based on something someone else has told us, but what we truly understand to be provable within ourselves, something that makes us feel we have invented ourselves. We have probably more than reinvented ourselves to fit a circumstance, a reality that makes more sense. It's not just a truism, it's actually something that we can incorporate into our day-to-day lives. And I'm going to come to my general conclusion about this: how to extend ourselves into a level of effectiveness, primarily for myself, for ourselves, and then this rubs off on people outside of us. It rubs off as we become effective as human beings in our expertise, whatever it is that you are involved in, whatever it is that you do. As you become better, you begin to inspire people that are capable of receiving this inspiration, for lack of a better word. This is why good teachers don't tell you facts, they inspire. Yes, there is a basic level of factualness to everything, but then there is inspiration that allows us to receive. So I'm introducing elements here, and this is for all the truther channels, people that I listen to. I am able to take something from them, and the facts actually are relevant in my own life. I interpret something that people give me in terms of facts that are relevant in my own life. And I've said in my last video, I think it was my last video, that it's the intent behind the words that come from somebody that inspire me personally to change my own life. So I see, by example, I look outside of myself and I see the same old, same old. If you take political systems, scientific formulations, if you look at religious concepts, these are all truisms, same olds that haven't worked. Why would I adapt? Why would I adopt any of that? It's totally uninspirational. People are uninspirational for the most part. And all the truther channels and all this stuff, they're uninspirational because I don't have this sense. I don't have this sense of something that is actually in one's own life has pushed the boundary, this event horizon of tolerance for something new to happen. And we really need something new to happen. Honestly, we need something new to happen because we're in pretty desperate straits. And people that attach themselves to, well, it's same old, no problem. Unfortunately, we've hit the wall on this one because for whatever reason, and I think I'm going to make a video on the nature of our reality, and I'm going to invoke another YouTuber. I've talked about him. I like the way he thinks about reality, and that it's obviously not what it appears to be, that it presents us with anomalies that are just sort of shoved under the carpet. This is something that I find quite intriguing and exciting to look at, the anomalies that keep my own event horizon from expanding, and the anomalies, as they're accepted as being truthful, are actually quite destructive to our psyche. So when we say 9/11 is just one of those things that happen with planes hitting it and we walk away from it, this is actually extremely dangerous and detrimental to whatever little bit of a psyche and a spirit and a heart beating in our chest might be left. So the revolutionary spirit lives in our ability to expand our event horizon, our tolerances, to take in things that are not comfortable. We're out of our comfort zone. And that's why I make paintings, because I create objects that present me, primarily me, I'm talking about me, that present me with levels of uncomfort, uncertainty, that over time allow me to take in the mystery, which is so complex. I mean, it's impossible to understand why even a dust particle exists. I have mentioned this, I've said this. No scientific mind has recreated a dust particle, never mind explaining the entire mystery of this universe. And these arrogant pricks, they're out there telling us that we really know. We're going to do the boson God particle, and they haven't even got a clue how to make a dust particle. Forget the boson particle. How about making a dust particle, you science CERN types? You all high-minded Lukaku, Mako Michus, and deGrasse Tyson, Neil deGrasse Tyson types, the space monsters that are giving us all the good news about how we live on a ball in space. None of it has been proved. And I don't know, I was listening to Max Egan, who I really like, and he seems to have an issue with flat earthers. And I'm not proposing the earth is flat. I'm just saying the shit that we're being served, the truisms that don't bring anything new to the plate, aren't helping us about space and all the other stuff. I'd rather be a flat earther than a ball earther, because the ball earth hasn't worked. That's how I take. That's the position I take. I'm not taking a definitive position. And people that say, oh, well, it's so proved, we all know what's happening, you're just a Luddite, you're stupid. No, the exercise is in having an ability to encompass something that doesn't make sense whatsoever. And then working through a process of verification, personal verification, or finding people that appear inspirational. And what is it that's inspirational about a person? To me, I sense their honesty. I sense their honesty. That somewhere, this person, I don't know how this works. It's really difficult to identify the quality in a person of honesty, other than that you feel it, even over a digital network, even over YouTube. No matter what the man wants to say and do and chastise or censor people now. They're not allowed to say what they want to say. This is extraordinary, because the people that are being censored, for the most, not all of them, for the most part, are all people of honesty. That's what I see. That's what I perceive. And there are people that are actively engaged in undermining us at every possible step. And we do not have, we live within an uncertainty of the intent. We continuously need to reevaluate another person's veracity through their intent, meaning their honesty. And this is something that matters to me. I bring it up. I don't care about truth. I don't care about truth, because truth is such a, as I say, a moving target. And the honest person is a person that lasts in my life. I really appreciate honest people, and people that are not intentionally dishonest but work at being honest are still very high on my level, even though they're not able to face something in their own life that's dishonest possibly. I still find that kind of sentiment within a person. I appreciate that. I really do. I really do appreciate that. So just to finish it off, the idea that we're living in a mental cage, in a psychic, spiritual cage that needs to be expanded. If we're going to have a chance, we need to expand our mental prisons in some way, and truth and fact isn't going to do it. I keep saying this, and anyone that's listening to me and listening to the great explanations by different people on YouTube, like I'm going to mention this Matt from Quantum of Conscience again. He's like so preoccupied with understanding how it's all a big ruse, and PK, the PK Boston guy who was banned from YouTube, he does his stuff, and these ornery people that are in there with both feet and fuck this and fuck that and imbeciles and shit. This isn't going to go anywhere. It just makes them feel good. You know, I have no problem with people feeling good for identifying a lie. This is what they're doing. It's exhilarating to step out of being fooled. You don't want to be fooled. You don't want to appear fool. You don't want to be called a fool, the village idiot. You don't want to have that on your back. I understand. You make channels just to show people you're not fooled. That's fucking A. You're doing great, but so what? You're not fooled. So what? What is it that inspires someone to actually expand themselves into another dimension? Which is why, you know, I make the art that you see whenever I post. This is why I do what I do. I make objects that push on some level your ability to encompass it in your rational, normal world. Our rational, normal world isn't working. Take me to Cuba. Cigar is out. It's not a Cuban, that's why. Or, you know.